So St. Maarten isn't just beaches and shopping. There's actually a side most cruisers never see, and I'm going to take you there. St. Maarten is one of the most popular cruise stops in the Caribbean, but don't just stick to the usual tourist spots. I'm going to share the best hidden gems, must-know tips, and common mistakes to avoid so you can make the most of your time on the island. Whether you're looking for breathtaking beaches, incredible food, or unique local experiences, I've got you covered. And at the very end, I'm going to reveal a little known spot where you can escape the crowds, enjoy some stunning views, and have an experience most cruisers don't even know exists. So let's get started. So let's talk about getting off the ship efficiently. St. Maarten, main port, Philipsburg. It's busy. It's a busy port. So if you can, disembark early. That way you've got the most amount of time. Yes, disembarking early is going to be when all the excursions are getting off as well. I get that. Do what you can to get off because there's a lot to do and see in St. Maarten. And getting off the ship at 8:30, you have a better chance of seeing more and doing more than getting off at 10, 11, 12 o'clock. Basically, there's a couple of ways that you can get to downtown's Philipsburg, arguably two ways. Water taxis, $7, $8 for a round trip, or about a 15-minute walk. You go through some industrial areas, nothing sketchy. It's not a bad walk. We usually walk if we're just going to go into downtown. There are taxis everywhere, but if you're going to take a taxi, a local taxi, make sure it's a taxi and not somebody's private vehicle, and make sure you negotiate the fare before you get in. Don't ever get in, without telling them where you want to go and having them tell you what it's going to cost. You can rent cars for the day. I personally don't recommend it because when you're on the French side of the island, you're driving on the left-hand side of the road. So it takes a little bit getting used to. I much prefer just to use a taxi or maybe they also have public mini buses that are pretty cheap, a couple bucks per ride. I'd much rather do that than try and drive on the, what side of the road am I supposed to be on? Yeah, no, not for me. Currency-wise, US dollars are pretty much accepted everywhere. Now, if you give somebody a US dollar or $5 or whatever, and they have to give you change, a lot of times that change is going to be in the local currency. So just know that you might end up with a couple of, foreign coins when you get home. Credit cards do work in most places, but again, small, normal, smaller vendors prefer cash. If you have to hit an ATM, they're going to hit you with a huge fee for that ATM. Make sure you bring some small bills. I usually bring, if I'm not really planning on purchasing much, I'll bring fives and ones, say $20 or so, or $30 in one pocket, and maybe $40 or $60 in 20s in another pocket. That way, I'm not flashing a lot of cash, and I have some money on me if my wife decides she needs to buy 14 T-shirts for the family or whatever. Must-see attractions going beyond the typical tourist traps. The Lottery Farm. It's kind of a hidden jungle oasis. It's a private nature reserve with hiking trails, pools, and a zip line. It's a really good escape from the beach crowds. So, you've got a mix of relaxation and some adventure. They got a treetop lounge with drinks with an amazing view. Maho Beach. Yes, Maho Beach is popular. Yes, Maho Beach is, I don't necessarily want to call it a tourist trap because there's no charge to be on the beach, but I would definitely do Maho Beach. It's pretty, if you can capture that right image, it's worth it. If you don't know Maho Beach, St. Maarten's Airport, planes take off and land over this beach. So if you ever see a picture of somebody standing on a Caribbean beach and there's a plane arguably, right above their head, that's Maho Beach. You can go there, the parking's a bear. If you're going to go, a couple things. One, go early, or go to, there's a place called the Sunset Beach Bar where you can get arguably a front row seat. So you're not necessarily going to be on the beach, you're going to be next to the beach, but you can sit there and have a tropical drink and avoid some of the crowds. If you're actually going to go to the beach itself, be prepared to wait a little while. When we were there, I think we were there maybe 20 minutes before a plane came in, but keep your eyes out on the horizon. And, usually you can tell when a plane's coming because the crowd starts to buzz kind of thing. Be wary though, because if a plane is taking off, most of the pictures you see are the planes coming in and landing. Now, if a plane is taking off, they're going to be taking off literally right over your head. All right. So if you hear that coming, sit down, cover your ears, because two things are going to happen. That jet's going to pass over your head, maybe 200 feet in the air, maybe. And then what's going to happen is you're going to get blasted with the sound of those jet engines, and then you're going to get blasted with the jet blast, the air that the jet engines push out to move them forward, okay? And if you're standing up and you're not really watching what you're doing, you're going to get knocked on your butt. Next is the Grand Case, the culinary capital of the Caribbean. Best place there is for authentic French Caribbean cuisine. Think fresh lobster, Creole flavors. You can also try Lolos, which are local roadside grills for inexpensive but really good ribs, seafood. If you want some fine dining, check out Les Pressoir, Lepressoir, Les Pressoir, for fine dining. Best hidden beaches and snorkeling spots. Let's talk about that now. Mullet Bay Beach, white sand, calm turquoise water, less crowds. Yes, it does get crowded at times because it's a better option than Maho Beach, but it's still pretty popular. Okay, it is really good for swimming, relaxing. It's popular with the locals. There's a couple of beach bars that offer food and drinks without really bad tourist pricing. There's Baie Rouge, Baie Rouge. It's located on the French side. This beach is much more peaceful, much more quiet, less commercialized. You can snorkel near the rocky areas for some pretty cool marine life. Bring your own food and drink if you're going to go to Baie Rouge. Very limited facilities. Little Bay Beach. It's kind of a secret-ish snorkeling spot. It's close to Phillipsburg, but hidden behind the Divvy Little Bay Resort. Calm waters, vibrant, colorful fish, shipwrecks, and some underwater canyons that you can explore. You can rent snorkel gear or book a tour with, local guided guides for some pretty cool underwater experiences. Now let's talk about some common mistakes to avoid. Not checking the store hours. If you're on the French side, many of the shops and the restaurants in Marigot, which is the capital city, they close for a siesta, for a midday break. Or if they don't close for a siesta, sometimes they'll close in the early evening. So plan morning visits if you can. That way you get most out of your exploration of the French side. Traffic on the island can be pretty unpredictable, especially near Simpson Bay. Simpson Bay is a pretty, let's call it, busy area. Make sure that you leave yourself enough time. Plan on being back on the ship 90 minutes before departure. That way, if there's traffic, if there's issues, you've got plenty of time. Don't be a pier runner. Don't be the one who, I got 30 minutes. I can get from Marigot back to the ship in 30 minutes. Yeah, no, that's not happening. Okay? Give yourself extra time. If you're there from 8 to 6, make sure your butt's back on board by 4:30 the latest. You really don't want to be all over YouTube, in the latest Pier Runner video. Many of the excursions can be booked independently. We're talking about overpaying for tours and taxis. Cruise ship excursions are great. We've talked about them in the past, but you're paying a premium. You're paying a premium because the cruise line takes its share, and it's got time and money invested in the local company because they're guaranteeing you're back in time. So you're paying a premium. There are other websites or other ways to find independent tours that are much less expensive, but you're on your own to make sure that you're back in time. Okay? Trade-off. You pay a little bit more for a cruise-based one, or you're in charge of making sure you get back on time. And again, taxi fares, most of the taxis down there don't have meters. Okay? So if you don't agree on a price beforehand, at the end of it, they're going to tell you whatever they want to tell you, and you kind of don't have a choice but to pay. That's why always talk about the fare before you get in the taxi. They $20, nope, 5. 15, nope, 5. 7, 10, whatever. Agree on that before you go. Don't pay them till you get there, but agree on a price before you go. Last but not least, the ultimate hidden gem, Fort Lewis. Epic views, hardly any crowds. It overlooks Marigot Bay with amazing views of the island and the ocean. It's a short uphill walk from downtown Marigot, but it is totally worth it. Some of the best views you'll ever get. And very few tourists make this stop. So it's very peaceful. You can just sit there and soak in the scenery. It's amazing. It's definitely worth the walk. Now that you know how to make the most of St. Maarten, you're going to need to know how to choose the best cruise destinations for your next trip. Because if you don't, you might end up somewhere that doesn't match your travel style or what you want. I'll show you how to pick that perfect cruise in this next video.